Hello everyone. So today we will discuss on the remaining part of the unit on preoperative nursing care. So first of all, we have to know before going to the post-operative care what is anesthesia. Anesthesia is given during the surgery to cause loss of sensation of the patient so that surgery can be done successfully. So in Greek word anastasis means negative sensation, artificially induced state of partial or total loss of sensation occurring with or without consciousness. So I think all of you have come throughout the types of anesthesia. There is general anesthesia, local anesthesia, and spinal anesthesia. So this anesthesia can cause total loss of sensation of the body, or it can be partial. So it can be with or without consciousness. If the anesthesiologist has administered the general anesthesia, the patient will be the consciousness will be not there. The patient won't be conscious. But if the anesthesiologist administered a spinal anesthesia, then the patient will have loss of sensation in some part of the body, but the patient will be conscious. So anesthesia leads to block transmission of nerve impulses, as we already know that pain sensation is transferred through the sensory nerve to the brain so that we can realize the pain. So these pain impulses are blocked, the nerve impulses are blocked so that we cannot feel the sensation of pain. It suppresses reflexes, as many reflexes centers are situated in the hypothalamus of the brain. So anesthesia leads to suppression of those reflexes like respiratory center, thirst center, cough center, etc. It promotes muscle relaxation. So another function of anesthesia is relaxation of the smooth muscles, cardiac muscles, and also the skeletal muscles, and it controls the level of unconsciousness. So these are the few functions of anesthesia. Next is types of anesthesia. So first one is general anesthesia. General anesthesia method is used when the surgery requires that the patient need to be unconscious and or paralyzed. So this anesthesia is given when in sort of major surgeries, for example laparotomy or open abdominal surgery. That time the patient need to be unconscious, so for those type of patient general anesthesia is administered. Other criteria are also there where general anesthesia is administered. General anesthetic agents acts by blocking awareness centers in the brain so that amnesia is also known as loss of memory, analgesia, that means insensitivity to pain, hypnosis means artificial sleep, and relaxation means rendering a part of the body less tense occur. So when general anesthetic agents are being administered by the anesthesiologist to the patient undergoing surgery, there will be the nerve impulses which leads to sensation of pain will be blocked, so the patient may have a short term loss of memory. Within the time of surgery the patient will not remember anything whatever he has underwent, and he will not feel pain, and there will be induction of artificial sleep, and there will be relaxation of the muscles. Next is the stages of general anesthesia, how it works. The first stage is analgesia, sedation, and relaxation. So the pain sensation will not be there, patient will be on artificial sleep, and relaxation of the muscles will occur. In the second stage there will be excitement and delirium. It is a cognitive mental state. The patient will not remember anything. Then in third stage there will be that is known as operative anesthesia or surgical anesthesia, where the actual surgery will take place and the patient will not know anything regarding the surgery. But if the patient went to the fourth stage, then there will be a complication or threat to the life, as it is known as the danger state of anesthesia. The complications of general anesthesia are overdose. Overdose can be a complication of general anesthesia. It can lead to death of the patient. Hypoventilation, if the respiratory muscles are relaxed and proper care is not taken, then there can be a occurrence of hypoventilation. Then the complication can be related to the anesthetic agents. What type of anesthetic agents are used? If the patient is allergic or sensitive to some sort of anesthetic agents, then it can cause complication. There can be malignant hyperthermia or rise in temperature because the brain centers are already blocked, and if the brain centers are blocked, there can be a malignant hyperthermia in the patient. And related to intubation, as the muscles are relaxed, respiratory muscles are relaxed, the patient is not able to breathe by his own, so we have to intubate the patient in case of general anesthesia. And if there is excessive secretions, formation of secretions, then there can be the airway can be blocked, so it can lead to a very dangerous complication. Next is local or regional anesthesia. For some sorts of minor surgery, we used to use local or regional anesthesia. So the function is it temporarily interrupts the transmission of sensory nerve impulses from a specific area or region. Suppose there is a cut in the hand or the foot and we need to stitch the wound. So at that time, rather than preferring general anesthesia or spinal anesthesia, we used to go for local anesthesia. So it blocks the nerve impulses of that area only. So the functions of local or regional anesthesia are: motor function may or may not be affected, client does not lose consciousness, client will be conscious and the motor function of the patient will not be impaired, gag reflex remain intact and supplemented with sedatives, opioids or hypnotics. Next are the complications of regional anesthesia. The first one is anaphylaxis. Anaphylaxis is also known as severe allergic reaction. So if the patient is sensitive or allergic to any type of local anesthetic agents, it can lead to anaphylaxis or severe allergic reaction in the patient. Administration technique, if the technique is faulty and if the administration of local anesthesia, it goes it invades the tissue, then it can cause another complication. Systemic absorption, if the anesthetic agent by fault, if it goes into the blood vessel, then there will be systemic absorption which will lead to another complication, and overdoses can also be a complication of local anesthesia. Now coming to spinal anesthesia. Spinal anesthesia is given in the spinal cord and it used to get mixed with the cerebrospinal fluid. So indications are surgical procedures below the diaphragm. Any surgical procedure, diaphragm is a respiratory muscle which is situated just below the lung. It helps in respiration. So any surgical procedure that is below the diaphragm, in that case we can go for spinal anesthesia. And in patients with cardiac or respiratory diseases, where general anesthesia is contraindicated, in those type of patients we can go for spinal anesthesia. The advantages of spinal anesthesia is mental status monitoring, because in spinal anesthesia, as the patients are conscious, so we can monitor the mental status of the patient and the recovery is shorter. Disadvantages, it needs extra expertise of the anesthesiologist and there can be possible patient pain if the technique is faulty. Contraindications are coagulopathy. If any type of blood clotting disorders are present in the patient, we cannot give spinal anesthesia to those type of patient. And uncorrected hypovolemia. So if the patient is having hypovolemia, at that time we cannot go for spinal anesthesia. So coming to the post-operative nursing care, so as like we used to go through the nursing process, 5 steps of nursing process, same wise in the post-operative nursing care also, nursing assessment should be done in the post-anesthetic care unit. So the first thing is the vital signs. We have to check the respiratory rate, the temperature, pulse rate, and the pain sensation of the patient. And we should check for presence of artificial airway, as after anesthesia there will be a lots of secretions because of the muscle relaxation. There will be secretions in the patient, so we have to go for uh, we have to check for the artificial airway. Then we have to check the oxygen saturation of the patient, the blood pressure, pulse, and temperature. LOC, that means loss of consciousness and ability to follow command. Pupillary response. Loss of consciousness we have to check, because under general anesthesia the patient will lose consciousness, and at that time the patient will be drowsy, and we have to check the Glasgow Coma Scale, whether the patient is